All right, here we are, guys. It's been a long time in the making, but I'm excited to say we are here at the first episode of the Cancast podcast. I'm Kyle Carruthers, your host, along with Shawn Mccaul to my left, Mark Hunter to the right, both two good friends of mine, and of course, none of this would be possible without our friend Woody. They're making this all come together in this awesome studio. The guy is an absolute magician. And guys, it's July. We're a little late getting this going, but we've been busy getting ready for the fishing season. It is here, Shawn. What do you think?
Yeah, everybody's been super busy this year, between work and working on everybody else's boat but my own.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, yeah,
have
well,
a boat?
I just put my boat on the water for the first time this past Sunday.
That's awesome, man. Good for you. Man, no, I just want to kind of loop back to what we're doing here. So, as I said, this is episode one. As you guys know, we did the Peterborough tackle swap and fishing show last March in Peterborough. It was over 2 years in the making with COVID. Smashing success. We had so much fun doing it. We put our heads together. We came up with some bigger plans for next year. And we're going again under a new name, the Cancast Fishing Show, rebrand. And we're going April 2nd in Peterborough. And I just kind of wanted to touch base about that, guys, and kind of what we hope to accomplish with what we're doing here. And our biggest thing is building the social side of fishing. The atmosphere of where you can hang out. Places people can come to watch shows like this or talk on social media or just get together and talk fishing. And obviously, the trade show is going to be a big piece of that, and hopefully this podcast too. So, I really appreciate all the sponsors that have came together to make all this possible. Of course, starting with our friends at YOLO Tech Canada. So anybody that wants to get a power stick, a YOLOTech power stick, you can actually charge your GoPro all day on the water. It's an absolutely phenomenal product. You guys can check it out. There's some key dealers carrying it, as well as YOLOTech.ca. Tons of good products out there. We got the YOLOTech Navlight. You can basically light your whole boat up if you guys are rigging rods. Those tournament evenings, you're out there on your boat.
I'm going to need a couple of those.
Hey, we all know you do it in the morning.
And then, of course, the juice box. So guys like kayak guys and stuff that want to, charge their phones and their GoPros, everything on the water. So a huge thanks to our friends at YOLO Tech Canada for making that happen. I'm proud to be associated with this brand, and, they're really stepping up and making some cool things happen. So check it out. So anyways, guys, let's kind of get into it. Let's talk fishing. We'll kind of get back to some of the trade show stuff later and as we kind of get through the night. But I want to talk to you guys about it. How's the season going? What have you been up to? Where have you been fishing? Let's hear it, Mark.
Well, you know what? I've had a really rough start, to be honest with you. I've had some tournaments already. Didn't have the finishes I kind of wanted, but I'm there for the fun. If I weigh 20 pounds, if I weigh 5 pounds, you'll always see a smile on my face at the end of the day.
You made Team Ontario.
I did make Team Ontario, but that was last year, so we can't count that as this year.
But you went out and did it. Was the divisional, right?
It was. It was.
And you came in late.
I did. I was the alternate, so I came 11th. So I wasn't guaranteed to fish, but I finally, like a week and a half before, I got that call that says, Mark, you're in. So I was pretty darn happy, right?
That's awesome.
Nobody wants to watch this thing from the sidelines.
Man, there were some hammers on Team Ontario.
You know what? We had a really, really good team. Unfortunately, I didn't do what I wanted to do there, but it is what it is. That's the first time I've been on that body of water. And you are not learning the St. Lawrence River in a day and a half. You're just not doing it.
So I haven't spent much time on the St. Lawrence myself, but
you really should.
But it's kind of like on the bucket list of when we get the boat, like let's go. And I know guys, like Warren who was on the team, Danny, like those guys, like they spend time there, and they obviously it's a fishery you brag. It's probably the best in
There was
North America.
probably
but
4 or 5 guys on that team that were very well versed with the St. Lawrence
for sure, and. I think but at the same time, though, coming in from a new angler standpoint on it, would you find it a little intimidating?
I wish I had the knowledge then that I have now about it, because it would have been a total, 180 for me. I would have done things totally opposite of what I did. I went for largemouth on the St. Lawrence. I know it sounds stupid, but that's what I did, right?
I was just going to agree.
I don't know. We better edit that one out, Woody. We don't.
You know what?
I'm just kidding.
There was a lot of fish being pulled off beds. I don't know if it was a moral thing, but the first day I found some fish, but it wasn't run 70-mile quality kind of fish.
See, it's funny you say that, the moral thing. Let's take a step back and look at that. So my first tournament this year was one of the Ontario Kayak Bass Trail tournaments up in Sudbury. So it was May 25th, so it was open up there. And of course, guys are, they're pre-fishing and everything's on beds at that point, or they just moved up, or day of event, there's a lot of fish on bed. I was late getting going. I started a little bit deeper because we were finding fish all over, right? So in the afternoon, started bed fishing. Some reason in my head felt wrong about it. Am I the only one that feels that way? Even though I
Absolutely not.
shouldn't. But it's like, and like one of them, like you play with them and you hit them and you hit them, finally go and then you yank them off, and it's almost like my first experience bed fishing for one because the season was open, but two, I just didn't know how I felt about it. Like it wasn't like a tournament where I was like, okay, that was awesome. I did horrible, by the way, but still.
It didn't sit well with me. In no way do I judge anybody that did
No,
that.
and I'm not
their
either.
Call. That's their call. It just didn't work for me. Maybe I let the team down a little bit, like not going that way and getting some weight for the team part of it. But I just went with what I was comfortable with, and
it's no
saved
doubt
a lot of gas.
It's
too.
no doubt it's no doubt bed fishing is fun.
Yeah.
Fight fishing, like that it's fun.
It is cool.
But maybe it was because I just did so bad or what it was. But I don't know. Like, what do you think?
For bed fishing for me, I don't know. I in one hand, I totally see where you guys are coming from. But in the other hand, fishing's a sport. And that's part of the season.
Yep.
That we haven't had to experience because now we have an early catch and release.
Only for a couple years.
yeah.
That's all new to us.
Yeah.
Right?
This is only the second year. Like we're usually typically around us here in Southern Ontario aren't allowed to bed fish. Like it's closed to protect the spawn.
Yep.
So that's what we're brought up wanting to protect, like morally, right?
Yeah.
We're always taught, no, it's closed. Like same with the walleye. Walleye closes out, but there are areas that are open. And like these guys are brought up, bed fishing is just a type of fishing they do. Like there's guys that can't wait for, they're going to be up on beds. We're going to be able to go and jack.
Exactly.
And
I see where they're coming from.
And clearly, this like the science is there both ways, right? Like the MNR allows that up north because hey, it's good. The fishery can handle it, whatever, and vice versa. So, like I said, I'm not judging anybody. I'm actually looking forward to getting better at it because you learn a couple things as you're doing it and different things and whatnot. But yeah, it's funny you say that, Mark. Like it's different.
At the end of the day, if you wanted to win that tournament, that's what you did.
Yeah, 100%.
There was no other option. That's what you did.
So that event, and we'll talk about this, and actually we'll get Danny on the phone here probably pretty soon. Then if we're on this talking about this event here, so I think we'll let Danny kind of go in it. But I know a couple of those guys are running. I don't know how far. 70 miles.
It was over 70 miles. Like 74, 75 miles
one way.
each way.
Yeah. He came back on fumes one day.
Yeah, like $350 US a day in fuel.
You were 100% gassing up at that other end to get back.
Oh yeah.
That's
100%.
crazy.
Yeah.
Just crazy, man. But good for him. So Danny ended up finished second in that event, I believe.
Yeah, let's give him a call.
Yeah, let's give him a call right now. We might as well get right into it and see what's going on. So we'll get him on the phone here, guys.
And with that, we talked about it earlier. With that boater dropping out that let me fish, that also put Danny. He was right behind me at the qualifiers. That put him in the position to be the alternate, and then another guy dropped out.
Really?
So he got to actually fish it. So he wasn't even the team until a week and a half before.
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
How are you?
Not bad.
What's going on, Danny? Can you hear us all okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, yeah.
Right on. Figured to give you a call. We were just talking about your ears might have been burning. So
Oh, yeah.
So we were just talking about your phenomenal finish there for Team Ontario on the St. Lawrence, and we're just saying that your wallet might be a little bit thinner there with all that fuel money you spent. Why don't you tell us about that run?
Yeah, so it was a super sweet event. Super pumped that I got the chance to go down. I don't know if you guys already talked about this, but wasn't even on the team at one point, and they called me the week before the event, and they said, a guy dropped out, and you got the chance to go, and I was at Nationals last year, and it was just a killer opportunity, so I wanted to make it back so bad. But anyway, we'll get into that in a bit if you guys want. But it was about 67 miles to my first spot each day. So you're talking 130, 140 miles a day on my boat.
Wow.
I spent $350 US a day in gas.
Oh my!
Oh man, you need a raise.
I got a pretty cool boss.
No, you don't.
Oh, Shawn. Right on, man. Well, no, that's a phenomenal finish, and
Thank you.
we're talking about it. So tell us a little bit. We're talking about the St. Lawrence fishery, and obviously you have a lot of time out there. You're one of the guys in Team Ontario that's got some experience. What's your thoughts on it overall right now? Is it handling the pressure it's getting, especially those few weeks? The elite's on it now. What do you think?
I think, like, honestly, we were watching all day at work on Bass Live and talking with Chris and Corey, and just, that place is an absolute fish factory. And just to see today, like 60 some odd bags brought in over 20 pounds,
61.
I think it's doing
Wow.
quite well. I don't know I don't really know how the pressure's affecting it. I know we took some fish off beds, I'm not going to lie, and we took them for a long way. I'm not the one to say if that's doing something bad, but I think it's holding up pretty well, man. You're seeing giants caught all the time. People are still enjoying it, and fish are being caught.
So I think there's so many fish out there I still haven't even seen a lure. You're good to go.
Yeah,
I would
Yeah,
agree
there's
with that.
fish that these guys don't even get to catch that are going to end up going back out, that spawn and leave so quick that nobody even see.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's wicked. So, we're kind of talking about, OBN while we're on this topic, guys. We're talking about kind of fishing tournaments in general, Danny. It's something you put a lot of time into, a lot of your money, your resources. Kind of tell us about your starting fishing, kind of coming up through like the high school, stuff like that. And maybe you guys can even go into your tournament last night that you and Shawn fished on Rice Lake.
Yeah, so me and Cooper, I don't know if you guys have talked about Coop already, my good buddy Coop. He's killing it down in the opens, probably going to be an elite next year. We both started in like 2013, met some cool guys and joined a bass club. There was a high school program at that point, so we signed up for the high school stuff. Actually, our first tournament was on the St. Lawrence, the bigger style tournament. We went down. We actually won there. Tony Chimeri, super good guy. He was our boat captain, and we just fell in love with it. Everybody in this sport's amazing. I've made so many friends like you guys that I'm talking to you right now, and it's just it's just been a crazy journey, to be honest. I forget sometimes how many tournaments we've probably done over the years, and I look back and think like, holy, we started when we were in 2013, and now we're in 2022. So it's it's crazy, man. But it's gotten to a point now where that's all I really think about. I go to work and it's just I make money to go fishing again. It's the next tournament. Where am I going? What am I gonna do next? So
Do you think it helps? Do you think it helps that your boss fishes too?
Yeah, I think it's a key factor in it. Every time I talk to him about what the next tournament I'm going to, he knows where I'm going already. So it's that's pretty key.
So you can still hear, you're saying you've been doing these tournaments all these years. You can still hear like the hunger in your voice. You're not done. You're not even close to being done, are you?
No, I'll probably be doing it until I can't even walk anymore. I'll be on a boat forever, man. I hope if I have kids one day, I want to get them into it because it's an incredible sport. The people around it are amazing, and I have such a good time every time I go out. The next cast that I take, I just have that drive that I hope I catch another big one. It's crazy, man.
What is your personal best?
656 on Simcoe with Coop in the Bronzeback Cup.
Was that a couple years, 2 or 3 years ago now?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that one. No.
Yeah, I think that'd be actually there. I think I've caught a 7 down south, like down in the States, a largie. But yeah, that's my biggest recorded.
Nice. We were just talking and kind of sticking on the high school thing here, Danny, while we have you quick.
Yeah.
Shawn, this is something I know it's really close to your heart. You guys are both, and you, Mark, you've both helped out with a number of events. We've helped out in sponsorship capabilities and stuff like that too. But do you see enough young kids getting into the tournament level of fishing? Like, do we see like the 17, 18-year-olds teaming up and buying boats and competing, or is it just becoming hard with financially? Like, what are you guys seeing out there?
I think it's coming hard, man. Me and Coop have both done a lot of tournaments down in the States, and it's crazy to me the numbers that they have coming out. They're getting 100, 200 boat field tournaments for high school events, like cutthroat events to try and qualify. And I feel like there's kids up here that enjoy fishing that don't really know that they could get into that type of thing. And I feel like there is kids out there that have the same passion for it and want to go out. I feel like they just don't get the opportunity, because I know when I was a kid, when I first saw a bass wood, I was just like in awe. Like I just wanted to go out and do it.
Yep.
And not a lot of kids have that opportunity. So I feel like last night in that event that we fished on Rice, it was just like cool to have that happen. And I hope it happens more. I hope more guys put that stuff on and more kids come out, because it'd be cool to see those junior programs, high school programs kind of blow up.
Oh, for sure. And hats off to, and tell me if I'm wrong here, I believe it was Darren Kavanaugh and Curtis Cronkright that put that tournament together last night, if I'm correct. There might have been a few other people involved, so I apologize I missed anybody. But you guys ended up going out and taking the win, you and Shawn here. So congratulations, fellas.
Thank you.
I believe Mark went out and ended up eating lots of snacks. And
Yeah, we basically a snack night and a boat ride. Yeah.
and I heard that you guys actually took your winnings and donated it back to the high school team that they were fundraising for.
Yeah, we talked about it before, like a couple weeks before when we heard about it, and I said, Shawn, we got to do this event. Like, we got to sign up. And I was like, regardless of how it goes, even if we get fifth and we get some money, either way, we're gonna pay. We're gonna donate our money, because I've fished with the OBN since I was a high school kid, and I know that this stuff costs a lot of money. They're going to Hartwell in the fall, and that this trip costs a ton of money for the OBN and for them to go down. So anything helps, any little bit of money, and I know that those kids were stoked. It was cool to see them all last night. Wish if the rain wasn't there, I feel like we would have got to talk to them a little more. But yeah, it was cool to get the win, and we talked about it when we were leaving there. I'd like to get the win to give the money back to them, so that was cool.
Well, good on you guys, you Shawn, like you and Danny, good job, guys. You know that doesn't go unnoticed, and yeah, no, just phenomenal. So
Yeah, well, the win doesn't really have much to do with me. This kid puts in so much hard work out there. All I got to do is go out and fish. It's real easy to come by fish when he's my guide, right? So I gotta give the win to Danny.
I didn't do much catching yesterday. If you boys haven't heard already, I did a whole lot of guiding.
Oh, we heard.
you know, so one final note, Danny, before we let you go. We were talking, it would have been when was it rigging Shawn's boat at Mercer Marine a couple weeks? I'm not sure when it was. We were talking recently. And, we're talking about, hey, going down to the Classic to watch Coop, which, and you said to me, hey, there's still a chance I could be in it. And I'm like, you're right. There's still a chance, like, you could still qualify for the Classics. Like, what's your thoughts on that in the back of your head, honestly, that you have a chance?
Yeah, it's funny. I got the chills. You just talking about it, man. So last year, I'll just give a quick one. I went down to Nationals, got the chance to go down. Wasn't able to get across the border with my boat, as many people heard, with COVID and all that. Went down, super fun experience, but I didn't have as great a tournament as I wanted to. So I got the chance to go down again this year to Pickwick Lake in Alabama. I've been there before with Mark Kavanaugh at Nationals about 4 years ago. Fish is really cool. And yeah, top three from the Nationals out of, I think, 50 some odd guys, 52, 53 guys. Top three qualify for the Classic. They also get their opens paid for next year, which is kind of in the next chapter of my journey here, I think, for next year. But yeah, top three from that tournament qualify for the Classic. The first place guy gets winning you're in the elites next year. So it's a pretty crazy opportunity coming up this November, and I hope it pans out how I want it to, because it's all I'm thinking about right now.
I would absolutely love to see both, Danny. That would be amazing. You're gonna miss a good party, bud. But let me tell you,
that we both there's still an opportunity for me to get there, because ever since Coop's made it, that's all I've wanted to do, is both of us be able to walk up on that stage. So it seems kind of surreal that I still have a chance. So
it's bro love right there. That's awesome. No, good for you, buddy. Well, thanks for taking the call tonight. We'll actually hope to get you in here in person, one of these next episodes. And we can talk about some of this stuff a little closer. But any of you guys got anything for Danny before we let him go here?
I do.
Oh, no.
We got a crane coming tomorrow morning at 9:00.
That sucks.
Get those trusses hung.
Yeah.
Right.
Thanks a lot for having me on, fellas.
All right, buddy. See you later, man. Appreciate you taking
Okay,
the time.
see you
All right,
later.
congrats,
Take care,
brother.
guys.
See you, pal.
Bye.
Man, that's awesome. You know, and one thing I know about Danny, and this might seem a little weird coming from me, so take this any way you want to take it, Danny. Don't be weirded out. But seems like he's really kind of got it together in his head right now. Like, you know, matured as an angler, as a person. Like, that kid is like pissing confidence right now.
He's got what it takes as well. I think, you know, he's doing a little bit different route than Cooper's doing, but the destination is the same, and he doesn't want it any less than Cooper does. Yeah, he's
Well, I'll tell you something. I know that kid pretty good. Or I look at him like a son. Right? I love him. And he is one of the hardest working kids I know. There is no lazy days out of that kid. Like he's sun up till sundown, get after it mentality. Like he pushes me. He drives me.
That's awesome.
You know, so I there's no doubt in my mind he's got what it takes, and if he gets the opportunity, he's gonna get it.
Wicked. Well, you know what? Like I said, there's a chance, and like if the stars align, that's gonna be one hell of a classic next year
oh yeah,
for us.
And you know what he said? He's been in this since 2013, and we've known him and supported him since 2013.
Yeah.
So we've watched from them never been bass fishing before, getting in a bass boat for the first time, to buying their own bass boats, to classic bound basically. Yeah. So it's pretty phenomenal journey that we've watched these guys, and I love them both to death.
It's crazy.
I took Cooper and Danny both down to Lake Fork, Texas, back in I think it was 2015, and their parents were kind of weirded out. They're like, "Who's this like 35-year-old dude?"
Oh, you were older than that. Come on.
No, back then. No. Who's this 35-year-old dude that wants to take our sons across the border? I'm like, hey, yeah, we're all fishing buddies. Like, and their parents got pretty used to all their buddies being in, you know, their late 20s, 30s, and 40s.
Yeah.
You know,
I took Cooper to his first classic.
Did you?
Tulsa back, I don't know, 8 years ago.
2016.
Yeah.
That's funny.
6 years ago, 8 years ago. I don't know. When
That's
you're my
awesome.
age, the years just blend together.
Right.
Well, hey, you know what? What's awesome about this is we've kind of saw, you know, was it 2019? We got Chris, Corey, Gussie on the circuit of the elites.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Got Cooper in the classic, and not to jinx anything, but a very high chance of making it through the opens this year.
He's still got a lot of work to do.
He's got a lot of work to do. And what was awesome is I just listened to Cooper talk the other day, and someone said, "Oh, you've made it," and Cooper's, "No, I haven't. I have not made it yet. I got work to do.
Oh yeah.
Nothing is guaranteed. We have more than half the events still to go."
Right.
And, you know, so that's what's awesome is he hasn't let the classic, you know, when I was talking to Coop, I said, hey, like, you got to be having goosebumps thinking about the classic. He goes, worry about the classic later. I got to get through the opens first. He's not even thinking about it. So seem like they have it dialed in. They're figuring out. And, you know, it's possible. We're going to see 4 or 5. I bet you we're going to sit here, guys, in 10 years, and we're going to see 10 Canadians on the elites.
No, I don't doubt it.
The only thing that could change that, and let's talk about it here quick before we get into some
This is some of the biggest news to come across the stage.
This is big. So, and we're going to kind of throw out an initiative maybe while we're doing this. But yesterday, I think it was yesterday, so day we're doing this podcast, but yesterday if I'm recording this, the Bassmaster announced that to qualify for the Elite Series, you now have to go through the different Open Series, which I believe is the St. Croix Opens, or if I'm wrong, and you got to fish all 9 events, if I'm correct on that, right, Shawn? So compared to do you know the format now? How many events is it right now?
Well, now you've got your Centrals, your Southerns, your Northerns.
So let's take expense to do all 9. Fuel, hotels, time off work, holidays, boat maintenance, fishing. You're basically fishing what the elites are fishing, just for next not for the money.
And you're fishing against 250 boats.
You know, you're probably $100,000 plus.
So it's going from being the best of three tournaments to being the best of 9 tournaments.
So I can't remember. We'll have to look at the press release, and we will when we take a break here on how many they're taking from that. But the point being is, I want to know, and I'm not saying, you know, what's right or wrong, because there's obviously a reason for these decisions, right? These are smart people. Bass had it figured out even when the MLF came in and said we were going to take your series down to nothing. Bass, they figured it out. They're still going, right? Why would you change the format when you have fields that are full right now?
That's a tough question to answer. I think they really want to up to the cream of the crop. They want the best of the best of the best, right?
Yeah.
By coming in the top of the 9 events, you're obviously the best of the best of the best. You're not doing good on 3 lakes that you live around, right?
For sure. No, it's true. You can, maybe it's to develop those stars, like you said. Maybe it's to keep some of that star power they currently have in there a little bit longer, keep some of the sponsors happy. Like it's changing. I think the whole thing is changing. You see guys like a BP, even what Cooper's doing with his format, filming. That's worth more almost to some of these sponsors, to a lot of them, than winning a tournament.
Absolutely.
Right?
Either way, you could speak. You're probably the best guy to speak to. People are always saying, I want to get a sponsor. I want to get a sponsor. How important is tournament fishing being a sponsor? How do you look at that?
Right now, and I'll speak for me as one of the, the members of, Greywood, and there's a number of us there, and we all have a say in like who we want to work with, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not something like, we all talk about it, Greg and Warren and our West Coast reps and Ted and everybody we just, it's a group conversation. And some guy will notice this guy for something he's doing, and you know what? Winning tournaments is awesome, but there's a lot of other things we look for, right? It's doing events, being a good guy gets you pretty far, right? There's people that are influential in the sport just for helping out, like, donating prize money back, doing kind of things like that is kind of what gets you on my radar. The moment someone emails me and just asks me for a deal straight up, you don't get a reply back. I don't do that to many people where I don't reply. You don't get a reply back, and you're X'd forever. It's hard to come back from that one with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's constant. It's daily. Hey, can you get me a deal on this? Hey, it's not about what I can do for you. It's what are you going to do for us?
Mm-hmm.
All about return on investment, right? And there's some guys out there, like right now, this game is changing. The Instagram algorithms are completely messed up. Woody would know about this probably better than all of us, but like, it's changing how you're getting followers now and what people are seeing and stories and reels and this and that. And there's some guys out there doing like some phenomenal content. Like one I'll give a shout out to is I don't work with him at all personally, but that Average Ontario Anglers. This guy goes out in a canoe, does some of the best gear breakdown reviews on everyone's product, like every company, Shimano, Daiwa, St. Croix, whatever, every lure, this and that. Speaks well, great footage this well. And like, you know what, that's a guy that in the future I'd love to work with in some capacity, right? So I wonder if he's listening to this. But you get my point. Like it's the game is changing. You don't need to necessarily be a top elite guy, and they're always gonna have their sponsors for sure because they got the coverage. But there's also guys that can be like I don't know. Well, Bob Azumi's bad because he was such a good tournament fisherman too. But there's a guy that could just do a TV show and do such a phenomenal job at it, like Pete and Angelo there from Fishing Canada, Pete Bowman and stuff, right? Just world of knowledge, and they're not out tournament fishing like they used to be, but
Yep.
they can tell you more about multi-species fishing than half the guys on the planet, right? So,
See, when somebody asks me, they're like, "How do I get a sponsor?" My first question to them is, "Why do you want a sponsor? Why? Why do you want a sponsor? Do you want to put a logo on your shirt, or you want to work for that brand? Because it's more than just a logo on a shirt."
for sure. And I think a lot of people just want to belong to something,
Mm-hmm.
which we find too, because if we get like a guy apply to us, then we'll be talking to our friends at Shimano, and the same guy replied to them, and it's more like I want the guys that want to fish our stuff, that have been fishing it. Like, hey, you might have said no now, but I'm gonna be back next year, and I'll improve on what you've taken. And I won't say any names. There's one guy I turned down. This was like 4 years ago when I was handling that side of it, and I turned him down. And he said, man, I respect your decision. Like, no problem at all. I'm gonna try to reply again next year, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
And he kept fishing Daiwa all year, and yeah, he did make the team. But the point being is, like, he didn't just like go to whoever's going to give him a rod and reel deal first, right? He was like, no, that's where I want to be. I trust your equipment. And I think the biggest thing you can do, so for any of these people listening out there, and I know we've talked about this in the past, but align yourself with a good dealer. There's so many dealers that need help going after work. Hey, can I help you stock a shelf quick, do something? You'll get better deals through a good dealer on any brand you want, better than anybody else you can work with right now. We are so lucky, especially where we live. We live here, southwestern Ontario, GTA area. We have some of the best fishing dealers on the planet.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We got some of these dealers that support the show. Like out at Peterborough this past year, we had Taco Depot, East Hill, Peterborough Pro Tackle, the local guy there, Travis. What a performance that booth was. We had, who am I missing here? Pro J, JB's Fishing Depot, Mac Attack, Ganyons. Like, those are guys that we just had at the show, let alone everybody else around here. Like, you see some of these stores, man, like East Hill, gorgeous. Peterborough Attack, gorgeous. Taco Depot, High Falls, awesome. Mac Attack, amazing for the Bancroft area if you guys are up there fishing. Ganyan Sports, going to be a fishing destination as long as time, right? They got everything there. Salmon, you name it. Jasper at Pro J has stuff that you've never even seen anywhere else. Like, just, I was in Jasper's.
Don't go there yesterday for me.
I was in there this week, and I was like,
stuff.
buddy, this looks like a storage locker in here, and he's busy, and they're restocking. They got boxes, and they're doing, but they're bringing in like stuff like brands, and I'm like, hey, I need one of those. I gotta try those. And so what I'm saying is, get in with some of these dealers and help them out at their events, help them out at the shows, help them out at their sales. You'll be amazing who you meet through a good dealer.
Mhm.
That's the biggest piece of advice I can
That's
give
great advice right there, bud.
you. Yeah, start at the
Great
dealer level. All that guy has to say is to the right manufacturer rep, hey, I've had this guy that's been helping me out. He's fantastic. Think you can do anything? Yeah, you know what? We need a guy like that. That works. You vouch for him. Small industry, we're all friends at the end of the day, and people make business decisions or switch teams or whatever. You know what? That's fine. But at the same time, networking is the key to life.
100%. I've never went anywhere and looked for a deal or asked anybody for a deal, but I have approached a ton of people and asked for donation.
100%. And actually, I want to comment on that. I'm going to take 2 seconds and not hog the mic anymore, but we get bombarded at that for donations.
I'll bet.
And we try to help out as many as we can, but like anything, there is a budget. There is only so much product, and we do have to say no to a lot of people. Do not take that personally, people, because I know some guys do. Oh, that guy's like, you know what? He didn't help. Just simply, like, it's not there. Especially the last 2 years. Like, we've had such a hard time even getting product up. That's starting to change now. But the point being is that I'm speaking for all manufacturers and reps and distributors and dealers even. You got to think every day there's someone going there asking for a prize for a tournament, a charity event, Jack and Jill, whatever, you name it, online fundraiser, this and that, and it simply becomes overwhelming. It might sound like, well, it's $100 to you, but when you do 20 of them, it adds up to,
That's right.
So we try to help out. Some biggest advice to that, if you're trying to organize an event or anything, the sooner you can get this, put together something like what it is, where the fund's going, what do you need it for, do it like a year in advance. It makes it in the budget. Hey guys, we're gonna support these 10 things this year, and that's the best way to do it. Coming to us a week before the event, like thinking it won't happen.
Right.
We just can't do it. So at that point,
Right.
and we got to do our due diligence too, and make sure that if we're gonna put this logo there or this thing here, it's something that we should be supporting. Our name should be on, correct? You know what I mean? So that's just wanted to comment on that, because I've been going through that a lot since I came back to this team, and like I've said no, and it's not. I just know, hey, I can't even run that up the ladder.
Yeah, it's a hard
We've
no.
I know
Yep.
we've done too much already.
Yep.
You know.
I understand.
So that's what I'm talking about for donations and stuff like that. So, anyways, let's kind of get back to a couple things. So one of the things I had on my list here, guys, was new trends. Any new baits out there you're seeing? What are guys kind of? What's the goods you want to blow up on the air here? What's the latest and newest stuff? I'll start us off here. We the number one product at the show everyone was looking for,
Bait fuel.
bait fuel.
Yeah.
American Baitworks bait fuel. It was crazy. Like I remember Jason there brought some to the show. I remember Ben at Taco Depot telling me he had some coming to the show. We announced it. Travis brought a whole bunch too at Peterborough. Jasper had some in his store. I went and got some after. So I would say right now that's the hottest trend, and I haven't had much chance yet to play with it. I put it on, I threw it on, and I think it worked. They smashed it.
Mm-hmm.
But that is one trend that I'm seeing, like the scent game right now. Like that bait fuel was one of the trends right now, and now I see that Set the Hook. All their baits are infused with it.
A marketing genius is what I got to say, because everybody wanted it and nobody had even tried it yet. And
I know.
everybody had to have it. So their marketing team, kudos to those guys.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna see about getting Jason on here from American Baitworks.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason Gramata?
Yeah, like freaking phenomenal
Super
fisherman.
knowledgeable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to coordinate it with him to get him here in studio, make the trip from Quebec, because like the guy's just phenomenal, super knowledgeable. I think he's a guy we need to have in studio and talk about their brands and stuff like that. But so Bait Fuel is one for sure. Another company I want to talk about that's doing some crazy stuff out there is Dan Miguel from Great Lakes Finesse. You guys had a chance to see any
You're
of
going to
that
let
stuff
that
yet?
one out of the bag, are you?
I wasn't going to. So I had lunch with Dan a couple weeks ago, and he gave me a few things, and like the guy knows his stuff, right? And I won't let all the secrets out, but just go and try it. All of it's working.
They make some pretty sweet baits.
Yeah, no, like that is one company, mark my words, is going to explode. Dan, don't forget about us when you're all up there, you know.
Yeah,
right.
It's mark my words, man. It's some freaking phenomenal stuff. So the reason why I'm getting on this is remember back in the day, we'll take Corey and Chris for example. They probably have won more money in fishing fluff for hair jigs than anybody on the planet.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how long they kept that a secret?
Years.
Right? Now they have their own bait out, CJ Smasher.
Have you tried it?
Traps. I got some this week. I've not tried it yet.
I've tried it.
Okay, so he says he won the St. Lawrence on it last year. So you're a guy now, and now we go back to all these guys filming. They're filming everything. YOLO Tech Sticks, we want you guys filming, you name it, right? When you're at a Chris and Corey level, are you at the point where you either have to like give some secrets up to make some money, or Brandon Polnick level where you're on the package, or do you still have to keep some of those secrets, or is there still secrets in fishing, or is everything just out there?
100%.
I think with cameras on the boats now, a lot more secrets are out that probably wouldn't have been if there wasn't stuff like Bass Live and guys making videos and stuff like that. I think the secrets of yesterday are gone. Like keeping secrets for your years or whatever, just you and your buddies or whatever. Maybe it's a special bait that you make. I think that time is gone.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of baits that are out there that do really well that certain guys are on. And the bait's readily available. It's just people don't know how good those baits are.
So I think that's a good point. So let's take a wall of Yamamoto Senkos, for example, okay?
And for a long time, that was the bait.
That was the bait, right? So how many colors in the Yamamoto lineup? I don't know. But, they make some awesome stuff. They make the Daiwa Nikos and this and that. Half those colors, no, more than that. 95% of those colors are designed to catch fishermen more than fish.
Right.
Now, I think we've all caught fish on a pink Senko. I think we've all caught them on red, and some colors work, whatever. But I think if you only got to choose colors, we all know what we're choosing. Your basics, your pumpkins, your blacks, whatever.
Right.
So what I'm getting back to, though, is you're a lead angler now. You know this bait works. You can go make a bunch of money here by mass producing it and letting the secret out, or are you going to keep it for a couple years yourself and then loop back to yours? Or can a guy like a lead angler take any bait off the wall and still outfish you because he's fishing it differently? You got two questions there in one. I know that was a little word, a little bad, but
I think it's both. I really do think bait is a huge part of it, because I've been out on boats where I've used a certain bait and guys are using another bait, pretty much the same but not the same, like a different brand. Like for instance, I use a Bandito bug. It's my go-to flipping bait. I've used it for three years now, like just my go-to, and I straight jack them on that bug, like straight jack them. And there's another bait that's super similar, but it's only got two of the flappers on the side. Then it's got the big craw, but it's got, like, they both have the big flappers to make the claws move really well. But I've got 6 of them, and that one's got 4.
Okay.
So I think my water displacement is just a little bit
changing it up
better, and
like
jack them on it.
Yeah. What do you I'm pretty sure. We talked. I believe it was Bill Lowen, Dollar Bill Lowen, that came on our came into our club on whatever Zoom or whatever it was, and spoke to the club, and we asked him about color, size, and stuff, and he said something that made perfect sense. He says, it doesn't matter what color it is.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really matter what size it is. What makes the difference is that rate of fall. So
Yeah.
you can have the same bait, right? And just by changing weights, you can have 4 different baits. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Just how the
100%.
weight it falls
Well,
is going to fish differently.
it could even be like your tubes, right? You go out on Rice Lake we got 4 tube rods rigged up.
Right.
Usually until you figure out the color, the weight, what you're doing, right? But like from one color to, half ounce to whatever, it's changing the way that
Yes.
tube's going. So I agree with that. I just think there's so much research on both sides of the argument, and with the scent thing, it's hard to figure out what. So I guess the only way to sort that out in my mind is go out and do it, see it works for me.
Time on the water, buddy.
Yeah, the CJ Smasher, it's amino infused as well, right?
Is it? So I literally
Yeah,
grabbed one off the shelf,
oh,
Evo
yeah.
Pro Tackle. I haven't even had a chance. Now, what's funny though, I went to buy it. There was a whole bunch sold out, and I asked Chris Huckelson there, a great guy. I'm like, "What's the color?" And he's like, "Oh, the color you want, they're all gone. But here, take this one. It will catch fish. It's good." So like that's right there saying that when these 3 colors are sold out, people in their mind have it. These are the colors,
Right.
right?
And that's not from them trying those baits. That's from them hearing something from somebody that's used the baits or seen it on TV or
You'll catch
whatever.
10 fish on one of those baits.
Yeah, I hear like they float like just the
Yeah, they float and they're made out
buoyancy
of
of
like the Elastic like Z-Man are. So they're not like your regular plastic, right?
Yeah.
Stretchy.
Yeah, they're super stretchy. They stick to the hook like crazy.
Yep.
Like if you got a problem with panfish always ripping off your drop shot baits, throw one of these on and they ain't gonna rip it off.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. It's just making me think of I saw Big Jim McLaughlin there tying hair jigs the other day for some guys fishing the St. Lawrence, and I'm
The
sitting
hair
there
jig
like,
guru.
you remember 5 years ago, like we'd go up to like a tournament on Rice, and I don't fish a lot of tournaments. I got into the sport, 5 years ago, 6-7 years ago, where I was really like, let's go next level, but I remember like seeing guys come in for weigh-in, cut the hair jigs off, and throw them in the glove box where anybody could see them.
Yeah.
I won't say any names.
Big time.
These are guys that were winning,
Big time.
They had it figured out. So, and then it's same as like, who was it that won an event 2 years ago on a Berkeley flatworm? What was that bait called? It was a Berkeley bait. Doesn't matter. Dealers sold out of it like crazy.
It was a flatworm.
It was flatworm. Who was that?
I'm not sure who.
Doesn't matter. People were just buying them 12.
It was St. Lawrence. It was a St. Lawrence tournament, I think.
I think it was maybe Chris was fishing that 2 years ago before his
Maybe.
Smasher, and he did well.
Yeah.
Or Corey, somebody had it, and they literally went, and everyone was just buying it. 12 dealers, like 12 at a time, 12 at a time, 12 at a time. That was the bait.
Yeah, it was a bait. It works really well, that bait.
So then that goes back to the conversation too. Does winning tournaments and guys seeing you win exactly what sponsors want still? We can talk about this all night.
Yeah, there was guys on the internet selling for like $30 a pack because people wanted them so bad. People were
That's
paying
right.
it.
Yeah.
People were paying it.
I know.
I'm pretty sure it was the flat-nosed worm.
But you know who we should get on the phone and ask the same question to right now? The number one guide in our hearts, Mike Williams. Give him a shout. Shawn, you mind putting that up on that microphone there for us?
I know a guy. He's probably fishing.
Hey, Mr. Carruthers.
What are you doing tonight?
Oh, not much. Just hanging out at the hotel room. Got off the lake a little while ago.
Right on. Well, I'm sitting here with your buddies, Mr. Mark Hunter and Shawn Mccaul, and we were just having.
Hey, buddy.
Brother.
All right, Mike. We need your honest answer, and you got 3 seconds to think on your feet quick here. Does
Okay.
color matter in fishing?
Color, what's that?
Does it matter what color your lure is while fishing? Does color make a difference to the fish?
I don't think it makes a whole lot of difference to the fish. I think it makes more difference to the angler and what you have confidence in.
There you go.
I agree.
There you go. Awesome. All right. Now we got his side of it. So, okay, Mike, tell us about what you're doing. You guys are up on Quinty this week. Tell us a little bit about what's happening up there, what tournament series it is, and what we're missing out on.
Yeah, so we started the Elite Canadian Bass Anglers Tour last year. We wanted to get 2-day events back in play, and we wanted to pay back the anglers a fair payback because we've been in this for a long time and I don't feel we get what we put in sometimes. But yeah, so we're trying to build a series for guys willing to put in the time for 2-day events. I love 2-day events personally because it's a challenge to go out and catch them both days. And it really tests the angler skill doing that both days. Anybody can go out and catch them one day, but if you got to get out there and catch them both days, it's a little bit tougher, definitely, and it's a challenge. And personally, I like the 2-day event style. Yeah, so that's kind of what we're doing. We wanted to, like I say, make the payback structure a little bit favor of the anglers and the amount of time and money that they put into the sport, and also to grow the sport. We want to build it up from grassroots and stuff. So we've got the Mighty Muck events involved in that, so they're a little less entry fee, more one day. Those two are 1-day events, but they're involved in the series as wild cards this year.
Nice.
And we have the boat contingencies involved with all 4 of our tournaments this year. So you can use either Mighty Mucks 1 or Mighty Mucks 2 at the end of the year to go towards Team of the Year. We also have a guaranteed Team of the Year prize of $7,000 plus whatever we get back from
Wow.
from our pay structure and however many teams we got. So
that's on top of no matter what the team number is, that 7,000 is guaranteed plus whatever you get for the entries.
That's great. And tomorrow on Quinty, or on Saturday on Quinty, $500 entry fee, and that gets you a chance to win a $3,000 guaranteed prize purse. And we just put out a payback structure that adds another $1,250 to that. So you're fishing, and that's based on 10 teams because we haven't got a lot of teams signed up. We've lowered our entry fee this year to $500 as opposed to $600, and we know everybody's going through tough times with everything that's going on in the world today, and the economy and everything like that, and the gas prices. So we try to accommodate our anglers any way we can. And like I say, we want guys to jump on board. We want anglers to support this series, and like I say, it will do a lot of good to a lot of tournament anglers if we can get this thing rolling and pay back some large sums of money, and we got some good wood to go along with that. The Mighty Mucks 2 at the end of the year has the championship belts, which is a pretty cool idea too. So
That's awesome. So you're on Quinty this weekend, so that's going to be the July 9th. What's the date? Oh, sorry guys. I can't believe we're halfway through July. So anyways, you're going to be on you're going to be on Quinty this weekend by the time this episode airs. And then where are you guys the rest of the year? What events you got going?
So we're up on Simcoe, and let me just double check the date, but I believe it's the 20th and 21st. We were up there last year. Just let me double check here, Kyle.
I think
we were up there last year, and it was a great. Actually, it is the. I believe it's the 20th and 21st.
I would think that the chance to win that kind of money while fishing Simcoe has got to be appealing to a lot of people.
Yeah. And apparently the fishing on Simcoe at that time of year, it isn't great, but the boys caught them last year, 25, 26 pounds each day.
Wow.
Scotty Merson won that. And there were some big bags weighed in over the weekend up there, and we had great weather for it. So we're looking forward to getting back up on Simcoe and catching some of them big brown bass. Dougie Monahan actually weighed in a nice 5-pound large at that tournament too. So
that's awesome, man. So for the series, what's the best place for guys to find info on it? You guys got a website, Facebook page? What's the best way?
Yeah, we got a website. I got an Instagram page started here, but we do have a website. It's the Elite Canadian Bass Anglers.com is the website, and you'll find all the information to all our tournaments on that. So anybody that wants to sign up for this weekend coming, you are still eligible for that Team of the Year prize, because we do have the one Mighty Mucks wild card at the end of the year you can use towards the Team of the Year.
Awesome. No, I appreciate that, Mike, and we hope you guys have a smasher success of a weekend.
thanks a lot for having me on, guys. And I look forward to listening to more of these podcasts. And you guys are great guys. And thanks for having me on.
Yeah, we'll get you in studio next time for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you got to get my pretty face on camera.
100%.
Oh, you got a haircut,
haircut,
now.
but
Yeah.
come on.
The only guy that can compete with me is Shawn McCaul.
Sean's looking pretty clean cut today. So
So you move your
Alright,
tournaments, Mike. You
What's
move your
that?
you move your tournaments from the Friday, Saturday to the Saturday, Sunday this year.
Yes, we did this year. We found a lot of guys couldn't commit to the Friday, and a lot of guys were using that Friday for pre-fishing and stuff. So we decided to, like I say, we try to accommodate the anglers and listen to what the anglers are telling us for feedback and all that. We're not a series that is my way or the highway kind of thing. So we try to accommodate the anglers if they have suggestions or anything to make our series better. We're all ears. We're open to hearing it, and we will discuss with you if you have any questions or anything like that. We're very open-ended. We're very transparent, so to speak. And like I say, we have the best paybacks going in Ontario right now. So we have, like I said, we have a payback structure this weekend. Gary and them are working themselves to the bone and not getting a lot out of it, if anything, because we want to build this series and we're willing to take the hits in the first couple of years and just to get the numbers up and get everybody on board and supporting this series. And like I say, Gary and his staff work their butts off to provide this for the anglers, and we just want to get as many guys on board as we can and move forward with it and become one of the best tournament series in Ontario.
that's awesome, man. Well, we wish you guys all the best, and we'll be in touch for sure.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
All
Take
right,
care, eh?
see you,
Have a
buddy.
good
Cheers, Mike. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, bud.
You mind passing me that back? Yeah. See you,
Now,
buddy.
now, for those of you who don't know who Mike Williams is, he is one of the most amazing fishing guides in the Carruthers. He's a very, very well-versed tournament angler. Now, to come into a tournament series and have it run with a whole bunch of input from a tournament angler, like this guy is passionate about the sport, and he's
Yeah.
passionate about tournaments. It's just, I had the chance to fish their very first event last year on Quinny, their inaugural event, and I fished it with Danny.
Yep.
We did pretty well. We came in third.
Yep.
And these guys run a good show.
So you would think, like he's saying, like over $4,000 right now with just 10 boats.
Yeah, that's with 10 boats.
You think that would be attracting people, but let's kind of get into like the whole tournament thing in general right now in Ontario, because we're based in Ontario and we know we got multi-species guys and we got bass guys listening to this from BC and stuff, and in the States, I'm sure. But let's take tournament fishing right now in general, not any particular organization or anything, like just tournament fishing in general. I think you can see that it's probably hurting a little bit across the board. I think, if everyone's feeling the pinch on fuel and stuff, is it better than it's ever been? Is there a year? We got to get back to some golden years. Is the money what's bringing people out? Is the bragging rights bringing people out? Are people not caring? Is just what's going on out there right now? What's the vibe?
Well, what I think's happening, I think all this stuff with the economy right now is hurting everything. Doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're fishing, you're hunting, it doesn't matter what you're into. I think it's putting a little bit of a hurt on it. Now, with the tournament series, I see the boat numbers drop in the more expensive series and the boat numbers raise in the less expensive series. So guys are using that to offset their costs.
Yeah.
I find.
Yep.
Right? And, everybody's got to do what they got to do. Right? So, like, if guys just love to tournament fish, and it doesn't matter if there's 100 boats or 50 boats, to them, they're going to choose what series they want.
For sure.
Right?
For sure. What do you think, Mark?
I think the numbers are way down all across every series, the expensive one or the cheaper ones. I go and watch. If I'm not in the tournament, I'll go support the guys that I got buddies that are fishing and stuff. And I've seen a lot of new faces, especially last year. I haven't really gone to a lot this year, but the numbers are way, way down. And, there's guys that'll always fish tournaments. It doesn't matter how they finish. They just love it, and they're going to do it.
So like it gets back to that conversation. I know we feel like we're maybe beating a dead horse. Is it better to catch a 5 pound for the gram and post a photo, or is it better to win a tournament still? What is like where is the mindset right now of the average 25-year-old? Is he thinking about tournament fishing, or is he thinking about, look, I got to pay the bills, I got a young family at home? Like what? I'm trying to wrap my head around it right now. Speaking, I fish a kayak series right now.
Mhm.
I'm definitely getting a boat. It's just
Which is
I got to
huge.
get a boat. We'll go back to the kayak
Yeah.
thing in a second because that's one trend that is growing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the reason why it's growing is because this one's shrinking, which we've seen a lot of boat guys come over, as we joke about it. John calls them glitter boat guys.
Where'd your glitter
So-
boat go, Kyle?
So let's not
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about it. Anyways, last night I was on the computer and it's like totally boat shopping, right? Leanne's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it." She comes over, got like a nice brand new Lund all built. You know? I'm like, that's it. I'm getting that. All right. No, I'm not. But I'm dying for one, dude. I'm literally losing my mind not having one.
Well, I can see
Yeah.
that.
It was a sacrifice, and it got me, like, we used that money for some other stuff in the new house. But I am dying without a boat now. Like, I mean, it was kind of out of my head last year. I kept myself busy. We got the farm. We were, and now I'm like, oh, it's a beautiful evening.
So you're
I
gonna
could
go the other way. You're getting away from the bass boat and go like more of a deep V family kind of style boat that you can still fish out of.
Look, dude, I want a glass boat. Like I do.
Yeah.
I miss my trip. But right now, if I were to go and buy a boat, if I had the money to buy a brand new boat, I'd be buying the same setup as Gussie.
Yeah, the Pro V.
Because I like the fact that I can still fish a bass setup. It still has a track system. I want to go put a couple dipsies on it for some random reason and go and hit some salmon. It's got the back two seats to fold up so I can take the kids all out for the day and go for a cruise. I can put a ski pole in it, take the kids tubing. That, to me, right now, the family guy that needs to make everything happy, but I can still go out there and fish a tournament in it all day and have a great boat. Yeah, you're not going to win any races, but you still got a boat that's going to do
Versatility.
versatility and
Yeah.
still go good, right? So, Gussie's in the 21-foot version, maybe even like the 1875 of a 200 would be a perfect economical, make sense boat for me right now. Now, would I love a Ranger 521? 100% I would. Don't get me wrong. But right now, if you're going to fork out that kind of money. But here's my argument I'm having. I'm happy we got on this conversation quick. We'll come back to the tournament thing. So, anyway, I want to get back to like the Cancast. So this trade show we do, it's multi. I know we love bass fishing, but I love chasing lake trout.
Mhm.
I love fishing pike. I love to fish everything. So you sit there and you look at, okay, I'm going to put this much money into a boat every year. I'm going to insure it. I'm going to put fuel in it. Do I want to own a boat? Because I don't even have time to go out when you guys invite me. Or do I want to use that money to go fish all over the world, different places?
I saw that post. Yeah.
Because now I'm like sitting there like, well, one, I have this like weird thing, but I'm learning how to fly fish. Like I want to go up and like catch Arctic char on the fly. I want to go Northwest Territories, like watching the road trip with Cooper and
Right. Yeah.
and Mr. Gregory there, and I'm like, okay, now I got to go up there. I got to do that, right? And then that other road trip when they went up and did, was it Nipigon? Where were they with
Yeah.
Moose? Brook, like, so now I'm like, and then I already went to Costa Rica inshore fishing. I've gone to Florida Keys. I've gone, where else have I gone fishing? In Cuba. Like, so I love saltwater fishing.
Mhm.
So now I'm like, it's a lot of money you could take each year and do a nice little trip.
Sure it is. I got
It's-
a boat that you can come get anytime.
So what's the answer?
Well, I like tripping every weekend, so I'm going to keep my
That's-
boat.
Yeah, I like it too.
That's it too.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like you got to find it. So you get a Lund, it's probably half the price of that glass boat. Still expensive.
Yeah, Lunds aren't cheap.
No, but you're talking.
Great boat.
You're not talking 130 grand like
Yeah.
a Ranger coming off the.
So there you go. You buy the Lund, and then you still travel. You just budget for 130.
Yeah, there you go.
Buy a non-current,
Yeah.
couple years old, few years old,
Yeah.
or whatever.
Oh, I hate to say it, but I mean, I think there's gonna be a lot of boats here for sale next couple of years.
I do.
Interest
Yeah, me too.
rates
Yeah,
and we went from dealers. I was talking to one Lund dealer, and just curiosity and what's that worth over there? Anyways, they couldn't get them last year, right? Every boat was sold. Couldn't get them. They have so many boats sitting there on the lot right now. Cannot get rid of them. People foregoing their deposits, don't want them, and there's going to be a fire sale on non-currents. So it's just completely.
And I would
flipped.
imagine there's going to be a lot of used boats out there too.
Yeah. So
that are now available.
Well, even the used boat market is pretty much shut right down, right?
yeah.
You've seen everybody with their 1998 bass boat, up for $35,000.
Guys got money for boats that was almost criminal.
Yeah.
used. Like you literally saw a guy sell stuff, everything, not just boats, sleds, whatever, trucks, you name it. Like you're gonna pay, like you said, 35 grand for that thing. It's literally a 1991.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy,
Yep.
crazy. But price of new is still here, and that's still down here. Like what do you do?
Yeah. I think it's starting to level out a little
Yeah, I
bit.
think it is too.
Yeah. So who's coming to Northwest Territories with me?
Me.
Me?
We should do
Arctic
that.
grayling is one of my
Yeah.
bucket list.
Yeah, 100%.
100% on my bucket
Yeah.
list.
Yeah, I want to go up there pike
Yeah.
fishing.
Did you see like the Cooper in that film? You guys gotta go watch this. Go watch the road trip. But that one, he's like, you just cast it out there. 1, 2, 3, what? Boom,
Boom.
fought, like every time. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just crazy. So that's really cool. No, it's awesome. So, anyways, I don't even know where we were going on this. We were talking about the tournament thing and stuff like that. But yeah, I just think that it's. I wanted to ask you guys about it because I just think the vibe might be changing a little bit.
Well, see, for me, I don't do so many derbies anymore. I really enjoy fun fishing.
Yeah, and I want to make this very clear. Like where I'm sitting, I'm outside looking in. You gotta remember, I'm in the industry and I talk to all these guys, but right now I'm tournament fishing the kayak series only. So I'm not judging anything. Or all these series do a phenomenal job. You all support the show.
Right.
We'll give a shout out to some of them that CSFL guys that shoot out. Williams and the elite guys, even the guys out on Quinty, the Somerville's running that series. We got everything the OBN's doing. The clubbies are alive and strong everywhere right now.
Right.
You got the Ontario Kayak, Bass Trail, just to name a few. And there's tons of them out there. So I'm not saying it's anything against any. I just think it's just expensive right now to fish. Period.
Yeah, I got to agree
So-
with you. $2 a liter
Plus oil.
plus oil.
Yeah,
Meh.
exactly. Time.
You got to pay to play, though, right? That's
Yeah.
why I like it.
But you know what? I want to give a shout out to all those tournament directors that are sticking it out. It's good for you guys, and it's only going to get better, I think. And, we just need one system to feed the other, like the OBN. And like we say in high school, and work its way up, and we'll prosper. But
I don't know the percentage of guys that start in clubs that actually go into the bigger series. I wouldn't say it's very high at all.
well, that's true, I guess,
Yeah.
too.
I wouldn't say it's very high at all. There's guys that will never that are in clubbies that have been in there for years that will never fish a big tournament.
And I think the reason why, so I had another friend over last night, he was picking some stuff up. And even this kayak thing, like I know you guys, people laugh at it. Go try one. We took Tim Fernandez,
Oh, it's
whole
amazing.
different
Oh, yeah.
respect level.
100% I would go.
112 anglers in it. But it's almost like the elites now. Guys are pre-fishing all week. It's, it's everything. And I'm already starting to go, holy, like I don't have the time to pre-fish. And, I go out just as an excuse to fish a new body of water and just to fish. It's an excuse to go, hang out, the camaraderie. But then you go back to the clubby thing, and me and my buddy were talking. It's like no one pre-fishes.
Oh,
Nobody
no.
cares.
What, are you kidding me?
Well,
Oh,
okay.
yeah, they do.
Man.
Yeah.
all right. So then in my club,
Yeah.
it was nice where I was because nobody really pre-fished. I'm sure a couple guys did, but you went out there, you got your co-angler, you had a good time, had a case of beer at the end of it at the lawn. Everyone was good. You know what I mean? So maybe that's what you go back to. And then I have this weird thing too. And Dan McGarry wrote an article on this, and I meant to ask Danny about it when we had it on the phone, the co-angler. I've had really good experiences with co-anglers and bad ones. I've had good and bad being a co-angler. And with the right guy, I would 100% benefit for being a co-angler because I learned something, right? Like I've fished with some incredible people as a co-angler.
Right.
Learn something every time, right? Like I got guys that have taught me so much about fishing. And then there's other times where like I've been uncomfortable with a guy driving, like not driving, like the guy's, like, he is a co, I hate it. And then I've had times when I was a boater where like, hey man, like you're wrecking my boat. Like, no more hooks in the seat. Stop
Right.
taking jigs off my jaw.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know, what do you guys think? Have co-angler versus boater? I don't know.
It's a crapshoot
It is.
with co-anglers. Like I know a story. I'm not going to say who it was and where they were, but it was recent. And this guy got a co-angler.
Yep.
And they raced. They had a tour to the first spot. And when they got there, Buddy went to sleep.
For 2.5
back-
hours.
Back up.
He
He
sleep-
went to sleep.
He went to sleep. He
you know the
slept.
story
He-
too. Then
he
I know the
slept.
story, yes.
He slept in the passenger seat
Did you
for
want
two-
to bender the
for,
night before?
for 2.5 hours. No. So he slept, and Buddy took him right to the juice. Like, and he cracked him.
Okay, I
Like,
think
cracked-
I'm putting
cracked
2 and 2
giant
together
fat.
here, and I think this guy did really well in this tournament.
Yeah, he did.
The angler did really
Yeah,
well.
he did really well. Took
Okay.
him and like cracked him, and then there was a half hour, and he's like, man, I want to head back in. I want to make sure these fish are good.
Yep.
Right. And I want to make sure there's no problems because I got a good sack and
Yeah.
good for tomorrow. The guy's like, well, I'd really like a chance to catch my second and third fish. Like,
Holy, and
Like-
after he slept for 2.5
yeah.
yeah.
And he was like, dude, I'm going to tell you this once. I took you to my juice.
Yeah.
You slept the entire time. I'm not doing anything for you right now.
yeah.
Right? This is about fish care.
Yeah, like I'm in the hunt to win this
Yeah,
as an
yeah.
angler.
Yeah.
You slept. It's fish care.
Yeah. So if you cared, like,
Yeah.
you'd be there. I've never heard of anybody.
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
I had a pretty crazy experience at the launch the other day. It wasn't the guy I was fishing with at all. It was we got back to the ramp, and there was a family. Actually, it was 2 couples. They couldn't get their boat started. They didn't plug their boat in or whatever. They couldn't get it started, so they wanted a boost. So I said, "Sure, no problem. I'll give you a boost." They pull up the side. I go get my truck. I come back. There's 2 guys on my boat. Well, there's a guy that I fished with, and there's 2 other guys on my boat from this other boat. The guy gets off my boat and steps right on my front graph.
No.
Built-in graph. And I'm just like,
No.
dude. So it was okay. It was okay. But, yeah, he stood right, all the places he could stand, right on the screen of my built-in graph.
That's awful.
No
That's-
way.
I
I
swear
think-
to God, dude.
And I think too, like
you know where it was, too.
I think too, like it's yeah, that's a tough one, man, because
Yeah.
it's like people may not realize like the amount of money you have in equipment.
Buddy, I just put all new Garmin's on my
Yeah.
boat.
Yeah,
You
that'll
didn't
make
step on my Garmin. You stepped on the building.
worth every penny.
Yeah, they are.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Worth
I put
every penny.
2 106 SVs on, and I put a 93, and I put the Live Scope Plus.
Phenomenal. That Live Scope Plus, that 34 is so freaking wicked.
It is unreal.
It's
So
so
last
much
weekend,
better.
So
on
now they have
Sunday,
a new one out?
No, that's so
62?
that's the extended range, man. Like it's,
Okay. We don't need it
so-
here.
no.
We don't need to see 200, 500 feet.
No,
No,
it's
yeah.
salmon guys. It will be dynamite. Salt
Yeah.
water's 350 feet. But
Right.
all these guys freaking out. Like, no, you're good.
Yeah, so
LPS
last Sunday,
34 is what you-
Sunday I finally get my boat out.
Yeah.
Right, I go to a lake I know pretty good, and I got some good water there, and I roll up to my first zone, and I fish it, and it's just not fishing the same. Like I'm not jacking them like
Yeah.
I usually jack them there. And,
Yep.
Wow. So I go to the next spot, fish around, catch, like I still caught fish there. Go to the next spot, fish around, and it's bugging me the whole time those fish aren't there. I'm like, man. So I graph around a little bit around the other lake, dialing in my new stuff, and I'm like, I'm going to find them. So I go back over there, I catch one fish there, and I'm like, all right, they got to be around here. They got to be. So I start going with my Live Scope, and like I'm fishing 12-foot deep weed.
Yep.
Right. So, and I'm looking, and you can see the return on the bottom. You know, it's kind of red, it's kind of soft. And then I come across this one spot, and it just glows, bright yellow. And I'm like,
There it is.
There it is. One pitch in, dunk.
Hard bottom.
Right after that, I went 21 pitches, 21 fish.
That's crazy. Like the thing is, I rely on mine now. We went to St. Clair a few weeks ago in a tournament. I was just going around there, just Live Scope fish, dropping down on them. Boom. Right.
Yep.
I am spoiled by it to the point like we take our portable ones Laker fishing, like back lakes, like up north and stuff like
Right.
that. Put it on our tinny, drop down on trout. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's to the point where it's like not ruined fishing for me, but made it almost like a video game. Like it's fun.
Yeah,
But
super
the thing
fun.
too is like
But
kind of
efficient.
goes into our next topic about how far can these manufacturers take fishing before it's not fishing anymore. But I think, you know, you've said it best to me once. You still got to be able to catch them.
Yeah, you still got to get them, bud.
So I got to, you know, it comes to this argument, people going, hey, should we ban certain electronics? You know, maybe we should ban certain motor sizes, stuff like that. But you still got to be able to catch them. And that's going back to like saying, you know, I was out there fishing with one of my good friends, Tim Fernandez. And like the guy has taught me so much about smallmouth fishing we spent a lot of time together last summer. And like the guy is he's a smallmouth hammer, and and you know, I'm out there and I'm catching fish, not the same quality of fish he's catching. And he's like, that's wrong. Your presentation's wrong. What do you mean? So he shows me to change something up. Boom. Like and to me, I'm like, no way. Yep, change that up.
Right?
So I still like time on the water, which I'm not, unfortunately, not getting much of right now. But time on the water is everything.
Big time.
Big time for
Big
sure.
time.
Geiger Tech got a pretty good shout out on stage today from one of the anglers.
Oh man, those mounts.
Yeah.
I got double stack raft on my kayak. 2.9s. But man, Geiger Tech, shout out to Tim and Brian there, man. Like what a phenomenal product.
Yeah. And they're just absolutely smashing the industry right now.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal product. And they'll have a full booth down at ICAST this week too in Orlando. And
They're doing a lot of stuff with Humminbird now.
they make a ton of stuff for Humminbird, like all the certain mounts on lives and stuff like that. So we'll get them on here one day.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll talk all about it.
Really
so
good
we'll
guys,
talk all
yeah.
about their mounts and how they're engineering and designing stuff and what they're doing. Just phenomenal guys. And anytime I brought any of my Garmin stuff to him, he said, "Yep, let's build you this rig for this," and it's like it's phenomenal. So, but so let's speaking about the elites there, Mark. How are our boys doing today?
I think Corey was 4th.
So just so you know, as we're recording, this is day 1 of the St. Lawrence.
Yeah. I think winning was there was a guy with 27 and change.
I think Corey was in 3rd last I looked, but did
He
he?
moved to 4th.
4th?
I believe. I had to turn it off to go out. But
So I watched Chris catch a
Yeah.
5.5, and like he worked it. It was awesome, and that put him right up like 27th to like 10th. Like it's amazing what a pound's gonna do at that level of fishing.
Jacob Fouts cost $27.15 today.
Yes.
That was the big bag of the tournament so far. 61 bags.
So there was guys, but
Over 20 pounds.
when this event was starting in practice, they're saying how scattered everything was, right? And saying, I don't even know if we'll get the 100-pound mark this week.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
they're
they
gonna
will.
smash
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they will.
I think
Yeah,
they're gonna smash it. Somebody always does.
There was other anglers saying that he's got his wife looking for a property there now. He loves it so much that now he's been introduced to this water.
Really?
Yeah.
Mike Iaconelli.
Was it? No,
Yeah, it was Mike Iaconelli.
Yeah.
Has Mike never fished the St. Lawrence?
Yeah, no, but he's looking for property to buy there now. He loves it.
Yeah. Well, who won it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Who
fun.
won it? I gotta get out there this summer and spend some time. Yeah, for sure. No, that's phenomenal. Well, I hope the Canadians pull it off. I didn't see where Gussie ended up. Did anybody see? You got him there?
Corey's in 3rd.
And Chris was
is
up in 10th.
Gussie, let me see where Gussie is. He's in 24th with 22.7.
He's in it.
22.7.
He's in it.
24th.
He's still good. Anything can happen. He's got.
Like 61st place is 20 pounds even,
That's crazy.
right?
What a fishery. So I know a lot of these guys are going to wrap up at this event. They're all going to head down to ICAST. So, ICAST, have either of you ever got the chance to go?
I have never been.
No.
To Cancast.
No, I'd like to.
So for those of you guys who don't know about it, it's an industry-only show. Basically, all the top fishing manufacturers are there, from everything from baits to electronics to clothing, anything to do with fishing. So it's always a week, though, where awesome, cool stuff gets announced. A number of our show sponsors are going to be announcing new stuff.
Is it open to the public?
It's not open to the public. You do need to register, so you have to have a way in there, whether with a company you're working with or an agency like us or
Company you're working with.
someone
eh?
like that. Maybe we can find a way to get you in there one year. But anyways, so
if we send our letter like a year in advance.
yeah. Well, so what we're gonna do is you guys keep your eyes on the Cancast Instagram page, and we're gonna be updating the story down there on all these awesome new products, right? So not just with the stuff I represent, but anything that supports our Cancast fishing show, trade show, this podcast, everything. We're gonna take you guys for a ride. So
Nice.
check it out, and I know some stuff that's coming out. Daiwa just did a huge launch this week. I know other brands got stuff ready to launch.
So how many new products is Daiwa going to launch?
Oh, 15.
Right?
Yeah.
Went
15.
from 1 to 15.
Yeah. So
River was one?
There was
Yeah.
right now, and so for the record, so everybody knows, I'm a Daiwa rep. Sales rep's one of my full-time jobs, and it's Canada's awesome. Like I said, everyone's friends up here. Some of my best friends work for competing brands, and we're everybody's buddies, and that's why we all can come together in Peterborough and do this awesome trade show one year. So if I'm sounding a little biased, I apologize. I appreciate everybody's support on that show, but I do want to talk about those new Daiwa Tatula XT rods right now.
Right.
$109 retails. They're going to show up at dealers here soon. They are so good for the money. I play the game, and I've been doing this for years. I'm stupid. It's how you sell Daiwa. Hey, what do you think that rod's worth? I don't know, like $300. Yeah, 109. What? No, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Quality of the guides, the X45 wrapping, solid reel seat on it.
Well, that's what I found
Like-
since I switched to Daiwa. I found that the quality for the money, I get more quality than it
Yeah.
costs. Like I feel like I'm using an real expensive setup.
So there's some really cool stuff coming from them. I'm sure all the rod reel manufacturers are going to have some awesome stuff coming out. Electronics is always a huge thing at that for Best in Show. So, yeah, we'll walk around. I know the American Baitworks guys are going to be there, some crazy stuff. So we'll catch up with Jason there, hopefully maybe on camera for us. But you know what? That's just kind of some of the big stuff. And what really makes our show in Peterborough, though, is all the amazing local bait makers we have. And I know we talked about it on our wrap-up show, but, like, we got some guys making some, like, unbelievable stuff here locally. You know what I mean? So check out all those guys. We're going to start highlighting them on this podcast, guys. We're going to start bringing in some of these guys to talk about it. And we're hoping to find a way to entertain you with this show, you know, about fishing in general. Like, what are guys doing? How can you change it? We want to bring you brands you've never seen before. Guys building and airbrushing baits, and they're like, we want to do stuff that, you know, this is going to be a different show. You know what? We're winging it a little bit here, but hey, the best things happen when you get the room together. Yeah. So we'll change it up. I know we got plans to do this regularly. You know, get us together. It's not just going to be a one and done kind of thing. And any feedback's appreciated. And man, I just have such a good time chatting fishing with you guys, and I'm already looking forward to the next show. And we're gonna get a good guest in studio. And you know, I just want to give a huge shout out to Woody though. Woody's here behind the controls. Woody, thank you for everything. The guy is an absolute magician for putting this all together. And you know what? We actually got to get him on here and talk about one day about his latest adventures, because that's almost a show it all in together what he's been doing, which is pretty cool. And I think a lot of people will find that interesting. So hopefully we can get Woody on this side of the camera in an upcoming episode. But of course, I just want to thank everybody that supported the Peterborough Fishing Show this year. Most of all, you guys for helping me. I want to thank YOLO Tech for stepping up and sponsoring this first episode. So like I said, guys, get yourself a power stick. Keep your GoPro going. Any action camera you got. Check it out, yolotech.ca. As of right now, it's also available at Radio World, Peterborough Pro Tackle, and East Hill Outdoors if you're looking for a dealer, with more to come. So keep you guys posted. And before we close this out, guys, any final thoughts for the night?
Doesn't matter how much you suck as long as you have fun.
And eat lots of snacks.
You know what? Maybe by the next show, I'll have a tournament where I catch a limit. Doesn't matter to me.
It happens. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I've been there regularly.
Me?
Yeah.
My turn?
Yeah, I can't have blank air like that, man. It's bad for radio.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Don't forget to give back.
There you go. Well, we know you did that this week. Good on you, man. Good on you and Danny.
It's important.
Yeah. I don't really have one. You know what? Right here. Please do not return to the dealer. Please call this number. Very, very important. Do not take anything for warranty to the dealer. Call the manufacturer. They can usually help you out first. So
There you go.
awesome. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you. Check us out at Cancast on Instagram. Our Facebook page will be booming. We'll link everything down below, guys. Thank you again, and hope everybody has a great weekend on the water.